Morrow is an intelligence-based mage class hero from the Lightbearer faction who specializes in controlling his enemies, and in today's video we're going to take a look at his skills and abilities, his teams and uses, and whether or not it's worth investing in this hero, so let's get into it. His ultimate ability is Eye of Evil. For this one he's going to summon an Eye of Evil that's going to deal some AoE damage to his enemies, and enemies that are burnt by this damage will be unable to use their ultimate abilities for 6 seconds. Next up is Binding Terror. For this one he summons a spider that's going to cocoon an enemy, dealing damage to them but also making them unable to move or use abilities for the following 6 seconds. For the ability Demonic Murmurs, he's going to summon Korghast behind the enemy that has dealt the highest total damage. He's going to deal damage to them and also mind control them for the following 6 seconds. During this period, they will be unable to use their ultimate ability and won't be targeted by the ability Binding Terror. And then we have his passive ability, Abyssal Retribution. For this one, he's going to deal additional damage passively to enemies when he's attacking them. However, it can only be procced once every 4 seconds. And then we have his signature item skill, Murder of Crows. For this one, after he releases Korghast to mind control an enemy, it will also summon a Murder of Crows to attack that enemy, dealing damage that will ignore defense. At level 20, he will recover health equal to 100% of the damage that the crows deal, and at level 30, ally units will prioritize attacks against enemies that have not been manipulated by the Demonic Murmurs ability. And finally, we have his furniture ability, Devilish Pact. For this one at level 3, when non-summoned allies have lost a combined 10% of their health, the duration of his debuff effects on enemies will be extended by 5%, and this can accumulate up to a maximum of 100%. And at level 9, when an enemy uses a negative effect on an allied hero, they will be dealt the effects of Abyssal Retribution, with Morrow's ability to put the cocoon on one enemy, mind control another enemy, and then with his ultimate, block other enemies from using their ultimate abilities. He has really fantastic control. He benefits from other teammates that can get early control and sustain long into the battle. He has great synergies with things like Khazad, Mahira, and Mezoth. However, due to those being Hypergeans, we're going to try and avoid them in this video. So for this example, we're going to go with a team of Mishka, Leica, Morrow, Rowan, and Gorvo. We have Mishka in the front row so that if one of her wolves die, she can get that real early CC on the enemies, locking them out until Morrow can start landing all of his crowd control. On top of that, we have Leica, who is in there for the general reason of increasing your energy at the start of the battle and also your haste. Then we have Rowan. Rowan is here for the extra sustain, but also his energy potion to get to our ultimates faster. Because we do have that sustain from Rowan, it helps our heroes survive longer into the battle, which allows Morrow a longer time to accumulate his furniture ability, where he will extend the duration of his crowd control. Then we have Gorvo. He is here for his dive bomb ability to infiltrate the enemy side of the field early on, landing some CC. On top of that, he is incredibly tanky, allowing him to draw attention away from his squishier allies. And finally, we have Morrow. Now, he works really well in this team due to the fact that we do have some of that early CC, allowing him time to start rolling out his crowd control. On top of that, we do have a fair bit of sustain, which is going to allow us to cumulatively increase that 3 furniture ability, which will extend the duration of his crowd control abilities. And if we can land kills early with this team and you get down to 2 or 3 enemies, Morrow can practically control all of them until the end of the battle, especially once his durations are increased. As for artifacts on Morrow, like for many heroes, Jura's Call is really strong for him. The extra haste, allowing him to cycle through his abilities faster, is really important. However, if you have Jura's Call on too many of your other heroes, you can always get away with something like the Warden of the Arcane. It does provide a lot of haste and some additional damage. Otherwise, you can also look at something like Jura's Eye or the Windbinder, depending on certain situations. So with all that out of the way, how far do you want to invest into Morrow? He's a very interesting one. For his signature item, you probably want to leave it at 20. The reason being, his 30 signature item will cause his ally units not to attack enemies manipulated by the Demonic Murmurs. However, the way the Demonic Murmur's ability works is it targets the enemy that's dealt the most damage, who is normally one that you would really like to kill. So by picking up the plus 30 on his signature item, you're less likely to kill that enemy. In certain situations, 30 will be better, but in others, it won't, so best be safe and stay at 20. As for his furniture, 3 is the safe point, allowing him to get that ramping up duration of his harmful effects is really strong. However, for level 9, all it's doing is adding that little bit of extra damage, which in some circumstances will be nice, but not necessary. The extra 6 furniture required to get there would be better spent on your other heroes. So that is going to be it from Morrow, an incredibly strong Lightbearer hero with really powerful control abilities. Thanks for watching, hope you have an awesome day, and we'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.